Imagine being so powerful that your summon thinks the only way to protect your secret is by turning the local government agents into headless decorations.
Juhyek is currently having a full-blown panic attack because his loyal psycho, Cossack, is 1 second away from beheading these poor suits just for breathing near his master. But surprise, surprise, the agents aren't actually here to throw him in a dungeon. They are literally on their knees, bowing and begging for forgiveness for being rude earlier. Apparently, when you score an S++ rank, the government suddenly forgets how to act normal and starts acting like total simps for your talent. Juhyek tries to play it cool, or at least his version of cool, which involves sweating buckets and claiming that the world-shaking S++ rank was just a massive coincidence. It is the most transparent acting in history, but he is desperately trying to convince them he is just a regular guy who happened to stumble into God-tier status. The agents aren't buying his humble act and drop the mother of all contracts on the table. We are talking an ultra-elite deal with a 12 billion won annual salary, free real estate, and VVIP treatment that would make a K-pop idol jealous. They are basically offering him the keys to the kingdom just to sign the dotted line. It gets even crazier because they even throw in legal immunity. At this point, the man is basically being told he can be above the law and live like actual royalty. Most people would be doing backflips, but Juhyek is looking at this contract like it is a death warrant for his peaceful life. Our protagonist is the ultimate final boss of introverts. To him, fame and attention are worse than a dragon's breath.
He flat out rejects the elite status because the thought of being a public hero and having people look at him is a literal burden he refuses to carry.
The agents are speechless as he chooses the basic, boring contract instead. He is terrified that if he takes the elite deal, he will be forced to conquer the upper floors forever. He just wants to make a decent living without the world watching his every move.
He signs the standard paperwork, happy to be a nobody, while the awakening management department is left wondering if they just met the weirdest genius on Earth.
Back at headquarters, the chief is losing his mind.
He cannot comprehend how an S++ ranker can be this timid and lacking in ambition. He decides that Juhyek is a unique specimen and orders his team to recruit the boy into the elite team no matter what it takes. The government has officially entered stalker mode. Juhyek finally gets some privacy and immediately starts roasting Cossack for his violent tendencies. He gives his summon a stern lecture, warning him that if he tries to murder people or disobey orders one more time, he is getting unsummoned permanently. Cossack looks like a scolded puppy, which is hilarious given he is a literal killing machine. The duo heads into the 12th floor of the Black Tower, where they have 3 hours to turn 20 icicle spear weasels into extinct species. Juhyek's big plan?
Clear the floor as slowly and casually as possible so the government thinks he is just average.
It is a solid plan, until the weather report turns into a frozen nightmare. The environment is so cold that Juhyek starts turning into a human popsicle. Cossack sees his master shivering and has a complete mental breakdown, deciding that a common cold is an incurable, life-threatening disease. Forget the slow clear order, Cossack goes into full protective mama mode and starts obliterating everything in sight. It is a total massacre as Cossack zips through the weasels like a blue blur of death. He is so worried about Juhyek catching a sniffle that he clears the entire floor in record time, triggering yet another S++ rank announcement. Juhyek is just standing there, frozen and annoyed that his secret is being blown up again. Juhyek is absolutely done with his summons drama. As punishment for the unauthorized speedrun, he unsummons Cossack and bans him from watching his favorite TV shows. It is peak comedy watching a legendary warrior get grounded like a toddler for failing to follow the slow and steady vibes. They breeze through the 13th floor, which is just a corridor filled with traps that Cossack handles by literally carrying Juhyek through the chaos. Another S++ rank in the bag. At this point, Juhyek's attempts to look weak are failing so hard it is almost impressive. The tower rewards just keep stacking up. On the 14th floor, they deal with giant eyeball bats that use sonic attacks. Cossack doesn't even let them finish their scream before turning them into purple mist.
It is another flawless victory, and Juhyek is starting to realize that his bank account is about to look very, very different.
When he checks his phone, he sees he has earned over 7 million won in just 2 weeks from mana stone sales. The math hits him like a truck. If he reaches the 20th floor,
he will be pulling in 30 million won a month. He officially quits all his crappy part-time jobs because the grind is finally paying off. Suddenly, our boy gets a little greedy.
He realizes that stacking platinum badges gives him insane perks that actually make his life safer.
He stops trying to hide and decides to speedrun his way to the 15th floor. He summons Cossack back, and this time, they are both on the same page about total domination.
They encounter intelligent goblin workers who think they are sneaky, but Cossack flexes a high-level stealth skill that makes him practically invisible.
The goblins don't even have time to scream before their heads are flying.
It is a masterclass in silent assassination, and Juhyek is watching from the shadows like a proud boss. With the 15th floor cleared, Juhyek hits level 16 and finally collects his 15th platinum badge. The air gets heavy as a system notification pops up, announcing he has earned a brand new special perk for his collection. The local introvert is officially becoming the most dangerous man in the tower, and he is just getting started. You won't believe the luck of this local timid summoner because the system just handed him a literal cheat code for collecting 15 platinum badges. We are talking about an energy barrier kit that creates a damage-absorbing shield, and the best part is that it scales perfectly with his level. While our boy Juhyek is geeking out over his new toy, he notices something scandalous. There is no tower-exclusive label on this item.
That means he can bring this godly defense into the real world, and he is already thinking about selling it for billions of won to retire early like a true legend.
Juhyek tries to act tough and asks Cossack if they can breeze through the 16th floor with another perfect record, but his assassin buddy drops a reality check.
Apparently, the difficulty is about to spike harder than a red flag in a romance manhwa, making our timid hero realize he is going to need a lot more backup. Outside the tower, the entire public is losing their minds because the mystery player setting all those records has been ghosting the leaderboard for 15 days. While the haters think he finally hit a wall, Juhyek is actually just chilling at home and planning a massive shopping spree at the official player shop.
The bureaucrats at the Awakening Management Department are basically becoming Juhyek's biggest simps, assuming he is grinding floor 15 just to afford some gear.
Director Park is so desperate to keep his star player happy that he orders his staff to give Juhyek a secret 90% discount on everything.
Back in the tower, Juhyek decides he needs to test his new barrier, but he does it in the most chaotic way possible by asking Cossack to stab him. Imagine your boss asking you to commit a crime just to see if his insurance works. Cossack is absolutely horrified and refuses to harm his master. Since Cossack is too loyal to play along, Juhyek decides to take matters into his own hands with all the grace of a newborn giraffe. He tries to stab himself to trigger the barrier, but he is so clumsy that he forgets to actually turn the shield on before the blade hits his arm.
Cossack goes into full panic mode at the sight of Juhyek's blood, screaming like a drama queen while applying healing effects to the wound.
He gives the summoner a massive scolding for being a complete idiot, making Juhyek realize that maybe he should stick to testing things safely.
To distract himself from his own stupidity, Juhyek starts practicing his shadow step skill while Cossack handles the actual heavy lifting nearby. He figures that if he is going to be a coward, he might as well be the fastest coward in history so he can run away from any danger. Our boy is actually getting the hang of moving like a ninja, realizing that speed is the ultimate tool for someone who hates getting hit. He is zipping around the forest feeling like a protagonist, completely unaware that a sneaky little monster is watching him from the bushes. A stray goblin that was too scared to face Cossack decides that Juhyek looks like an easy snack and launches a surprise attack. It is the classic bully finds a victim trope, but Juhyek's survival instincts finally kick in as the green menace lunges at his throat. Luckily, the energy barrier activates just in time, and Juhyek feels the impact without taking a single scratch. He gets so hyped that he kicks the goblin away like a professional soccer player, proving that even a timid summoner can be savage when his life is on the line. Cossack rushes over and is absolutely fuming that his master put himself in a position to get jumped by a low-level mob. He delivers another legendary lecture about staying safe, and Juhyek is so tired of the nagging that he promises to be careful for the next 2 weeks of grinding. Fast forward 2 weeks, and Juhyek has hoarded over 22 kilograms of mana stones, which is worth a staggering 1 billion won. He finally calls the department for his shopping trip, and they send a literal limousine to pick him up from his humble rooftop apartment like he is royalty. Team leader John greets him personally, treating him with so much respect it is actually getting uncomfortable for our introverted hero. They take him deep into the facility to register his biological info, making it clear that he is now a top-tier VIP with exclusive access to the best loot. The player's shop looks more like a 5-star hotel than a store, and the staff have already cleared out all the other players to give Juhyuk a private session. He checks the price tags and starts getting suspicious because everything is priced at a fraction of what it should actually cost. Juhyuk sees high-end items like adamant maces and basilisk leather boots for just a few million won and knows something is up.
He realizes he is getting special treatment, and while most people would love the discount, his awkward personality makes him feel like he owes them his soul.
Despite the internal cringing, he buys the gear and prepares to face the 16th floor the following day. He is officially decked out in premium armor, and his confidence is finally starting to grow now that he has the second summoning slot ready to be filled. Juhyuk gets desperate for a powerful ally and starts a hilarious multi-faith prayer session, calling out to every god, Buddha, and spiritual force he can name. He is basically begging the universe for a legendary pull as he prepares to activate his random summon skill in his small room. With a trembling hand, he triggers the summon, and a massive explosion of light begins to manifest right in front of him. The energy is so intense it looks like it is going to level the building, and Juhyuk is starting to regret doing this inside his apartment. As the smoke clears, the new entity reveals itself, and Juhyuk is left staring in absolute shock at the destructive force he just invited into his home.
He isn't even worried about the tower anymore. He is just crying internally because he knows his security deposit is definitely gone forever.
Our boy Juhyuk decides to gamble on his second summon and out pops a literal mountain of muscle.
This guy is so huge he is basically a walking tectonic plate, and the apartment is already screaming for mercy.
But wait, the plot thickens faster than a bowl of oatmeal. Cossack sees this giant and immediately chooses violence.
This is not a happy reunion, it is a grudge match, and Cossack is diving in feet first like a true hater.
Cossack is absolutely losing it, screaming about taking the big guy's head and tying a pretty ribbon on it.
Talk about a psycho-assassin aesthetic.
Juhyuk is just standing there wondering why his summons are trying to murder each other.
Juhyuk has to jump in and stop the madness because his security deposit is on the line. One broken ceiling is enough for any landlord to have a heart attack, so he begs these two idiots to chill before they're all homeless. Cossack explains that this giant is an infamous moron who probably does not even know the basic rules of being a summon.
To prove it, he makes the big guy recite the 3 principles, and watching this barbarian struggle to think is both painful and hilarious. The assassin thinks they should just kill the barbarian now to reset the cooldown, but Juhyuk pulls up the catalog first.
Turns out he pulled an R-rank dull barbarian meat shield. It is the lowest rank possible, and Juhyuk is feeling that gotcha salt deep in his soul. The big guy can't even remember his own name, which is a massive red flag for his IQ. Frustrated, Juhyuk tries to read the detailed description and suddenly gets sucked into the guy's memories like a low-budget VR experience. We see the barbarian back in the day, just vibing with nature and butterflies. He was a pure soul from the Great Plains who just wanted to play.
Sadly, being that pure in a world of snakes is a recipe for disaster.
His physical stats were top tier, literally wrestling giant wolves for fun, but his brain was smoother than a marble. He was so dim-witted he could not even remember his own name, making him the perfect target for a scam.
Enter the fake hero Arius, a total snake who saw our big guy and thought, "Hey, free human shield." He tricked the poor barbarian into joining his party, just to use him as disposable garbage for the upcoming boss fight.
The poor guy stood alone against an archfiend Hydra, tearing off heads while his own skin was literally dissolving from acid breath.
He thought he was protecting his comrades, but the reality was way darker than he could imagine.
While he was melting into a skeleton to save them, his comrades were standing in the back jeering and calling him an idiot. Juhyuk watches the poor guy die in agony while being mocked, and honestly, the sympathy levels are through the roof right now. Back in reality, Juhyuk decides to be a decent human being for once and welcomes the warrior.
He gives him a choice between the names Barber or Meatball, and the big guy picks Meatball with a smile.
Welcome to the team, you adorable tank. Meatball pledges his absolute loyalty to his new master, and even Cossack stops being a hater for a second. The assassin calculates that having a reliable meat shield is actually a huge win, so the dream team is officially formed. The trio heads to the 16th floor of the Black Tower. The mission is to wipe out 30 goblin scouts in 5 hours. Juhyek is feeling hyped, activating his energy barrier while Cossack tells him to keep his shadow step ready for any surprises. They get ambushed by 50 goblins firing poison darts from the shadows. It is a total trap, but Meatball just walks into the rain of needles like it is a spa day. He literally says the poison darts just tickle him. This man is built different.
Juhyek is watching Meatball go full beast mode and realizes the gacha system lied to him.
Meatball is only an R rank because his brain is empty, but his combat prowess is easily SR or SSR level. He is a literal cheat code wrapped in tan skin. After a total goblin massacre, the team celebrates with a bucket of fried chicken. Meatball keeps calling it kitchen and Cossack is back to bullying him, but the bond is real. They are a disaster on paper, but in the tower, they are an absolute nightmare. Meatball is inhaling chicken like a vacuum, and Juhyek is feeling like a proud dad. Despite the constant bickering between the assassin and the barbarian, they actually look like a real party now. Too bad the next floor is going to be even more chaotic. On the 17th floor, Juhyek feels a surge of power from his level-ups and starts acting like a wild horse full of confidence. His summons immediately shut that down, telling him to stay in the back and let the professionals handle the heavy lifting. They face a massive army of tactical goblin warriors. The standard guide says to play it slow and stealthy, but Juhyek is done being patient. He points a finger and gives the simplest order ever: wipe them all out.
It is time for a total bloodbath.
Welcome back to the tower where common sense goes to die, and our boy Juhyek is just here to collect WS like they are Pokemon cards. The 17th floor drops a mission to wipe out 30 goblin warriors, but Juhyek is way too lazy for that, so he basically tells the trash to prepare to meet their maker. Enter Meatball, the absolute unit of a summon who looks like he eats boulders for breakfast. Juhyek points a finger and gives the order to wipe them all out, and honestly, if I were a goblin, I would just retire on the spot. Meatball does not do finesse, he does destruction. He charges in like a freight train with no brakes, and the sound of goblins getting turned into paste is basically music to Juhyek's ears. The goblins try to use spears and formation tactics, but Meatball is a literal K2 Black Panther tank in human form. Spears just bounce off his gains while he starts turning these green pests into actual meatballs. It is a total slaughterfest. Meatball ignores every single strategy the enemies try to throw at him because when your weight class is God tier, tactics are just suggestions you can safely ignore. Juhyek is just standing there vibing while his summon does all the heavy lifting.
He realizes that strategy only matters when you are not a walking cheat code, and watching Meatball work is like watching a tank crush a bunch of rental bikes.
Shocker of the century, he bags another S++ rank and a shiny platinum badge for the collection. Even the other summons are looking at him like he is a total monster, and the 17th floor is officially cleared in record time. No rest for the wicked as we hit the 18th floor where the mission is to hunt 30 goblin assassins. These guys love their low-level stealth skills, but Juhyek is already plotting how to make this even faster. The assassins try to jump Meatball, but our big guy is just confused. He is swinging at air while the goblins play hide and seek, and you can practically feel the salt radiating from the side characters. Cossack is absolutely fed up with Meatball's crude style. He calls the big guy an ignorant bastard and promises to show Juhyek what a real, classy strategy looks like. Someone is clearly jealous of the screen time.
Juhyek realizes his summons are getting competitive, and he is totally here for it.
He baits Cossack into working harder by playing on his ego, and the assassin goes into shadow step mode, turning the battlefield into a literal light show. While the summons are busy killing each other's kill counts, Juhyek reveals his true devious nature. He is just manipulating them to earn badges faster, laughing like a true villain while his level hits 18. Our boy decides he is done being a spectator and wants to test his own limits. He is leveling up fast and figures it is time to see if he can actually track these sneaky goblins without his bodyguards doing everything. He activates his own wild horse release and preps for combat. He has been studying the floor info like a nerd and knows these goblin assassins are actually just mid-tier trash if you can see through their cheap stealth. Juhyuk starts using the shadow step he practiced on the 15th floor, and even though he is still a bit of a klutz, he is actually keeping up. He is hunting the hunters now, and the clarity he is gaining is honestly terrifying. He almost faceplants because his balance is still trash, but he recovers just in time to smack a goblin into the afterlife. It is not pretty, but hey, a kill is a kill, and the counter is ticking up. He is checking his progress like a proud gamer, but then a goblin tries to pull a pro gamer move and sneak up behind him. Juhyuk almost gets cooked, but his energy barrier kicks in like an insurance policy he forgot he had. Suddenly, the adrenaline hits and the world goes into slow motion. Juhyuk is seeing the goblin's blade move like it is stuck in honey, giving him all the time in the world to react and deliver a fatal blow. He finishes the hunt with a bizarre sense of clarity, bagging his 18th consecutive S++ record.
While he is celebrating his new platinum badge, a global announcement starts screaming through the tower like a fire alarm.
Back at the Awakening Management Department, the suits are losing their absolute minds. They realize Juhyuk is an unstoppable force who prepared way too thoroughly, and they are desperate to keep his identity a secret.
The news of an 18-floor S++ streak is spreading like a scandal, and the media is calling him a level 19 genius who is rewriting history. Everyone in the country wants to know who this mystery player is, but the department is guarding him like he is the last slice of pizza. Later on, Cossack catches up with Juhyuk and he looks like he just watched a horror movie.
He is sighing so hard his lungs might give out, because he realizes Juhyuk's talent is developing at a speed that is basically illegal.
The veteran assassin points out that Juhyuk's shadow step was so perfect that even he would have trouble copying it. He warns the kid that finding combat fun is the fastest way to get yourself killed in this tower. Cossack is basically begging him to stick to the safety-first plan because confidence leads to bravery, and bravery leads to being a funeral statistic. Juhyuk promises to be careful, but the look in his eyes says he is already addicted to the hype. The veteran is left pulling his hair out because he knows his summoner is definitely going to cause a massive accident someday. Juhyuk is just too talented for his own good, and the tower is about to get a lot more chaotic. The management team is still debating whether to reveal him, but they know it is too dangerous. Juhyuk is their super special player, and they have to protect him from the world while he continues his insane climb. As the news continues to break the internet, Juhyuk is just focused on the next floor. He is the mysterious genius the whole world is hunting for, and he is just getting started with his record-breaking spree. Cossack's anxiety is at an all-time high as he watches Juhyuk's growth. The kid is a literal combat sponge, soaking up skills and perfecting them in minutes. It is unnatural, and it is making the veteran assassin feel like he is out of a job. Juhyuk tries to play it off like a joke, but Cossack is dead serious. The movement he showed at the end of the floor was masterclass level, and that kind of potential is a massive target on his back. The warning is clear, don't get cocky or you'll get clapped. Juhyuk nods along, but let's be real, our boy is already planning his next big move.
We end with Cossack literally crying inside because he knows his summoner is a disaster waiting to happen.
The safety-first era is officially over, and the era of the accident waiting to happen has begun.